Following a period of destruction and isolation, the Khajuraho temple complex was covered by the jungle until 1838, when a British engineer named Captain T.S. Bird found the ruined and forgotten city of Khajuraho and reported about his discovery in the Journal of Asiatic Society of Bengal. In 1852, F.C. Massey prepared earliest drawings of Khajuraho temples. After centuries of isolation, Khajuraho was seen by the global audience. But according to a report of Alexander Cunningham, the temples of Khajuraho were never forgotten by the Hindus. Even during the time of Khajuraho Shivratri festival, the Hindu devotees arrived in large numbers. The temples were also used by the yogis, who never left the temples even during the times of Islamic raids. Therefore, Khajuraho was never really forgotten by the Hindus, but after the British discovery of Khajuraho, its erotic art and temple architecture became famous all over the world. Today, Khajuraho is a famous tourist spot and World Heritage Site. Thousands of tourists every year come to see this forgotten city, once ruled by the Chandela Rajput kings. But few people know the fact that when these monuments were built, the Hindu brahmacharis or young boys lived in gurukuls near Khajuraho. The erotic culture for which Khajuraho is famous helped these young people understand the importance of a householder and about married life. Few people also know the fact that Kandariya Mahadeva temple, the most famous Shiva temple in Khajuraho, was built by Chandela Rajput king Vidyadhara after he emerged victorious against the Islamic invader Mahmud of Ghazni. The temple was completed in 1030 AD, and Vidyadhara was the famous Hindu king who saved Chandela kingdom from the invasion of Mahmud. Actually, the name Khajuraho comes from the Sanskrit word Khajurabahaka, which means one who carries date palm or Khajura. It also must means scorpion bearer, a symbolic name of god Shiva. Temples of Khajuraho, built during the reign of Chandela Rajput kings Yashovarman, Danga, Vidyadhara and so on, are known for their workmanship, symbolism and erotic art. When talking about these Hindu temples, the first thing that comes to mind is who carved these beautiful sculptures and why. There are some stories and myths behind this erotic art and sculpture and the foundation of Khajuraho itself. One such story is associated with legendary Chandela king Chandravarman. King Chandravarman's mother, Hemavati, was a beautiful lady. One day she was taking bath in a pond full of lotus flower. It was a full moon night. The moon god Chandra, fascinated by her beauty, approached her. As a result, Hemavati became pregnant by the moon god, and to hide her shame as a virgin mother, she went into the jungle and gave birth to a child. Hemavati gave the boy the name of Chandravarman, named after the moon god Chandra. And the moon god gave him a boon that he will become a famous king. Chandravarman knew about her mother's story, and after becoming king, he started to build temples full of erotic art. There are different theories regarding the erotic art. Some say it is to portray sex as a natural act for human beings. Some say it is to portray sex and encourage it as a natural act of human beings. Others have different versions. According to another theory, these erotic sculptures were the result of tantric influence on Chandala art. The men and women showed in the different positions of Maithunos were actually the people who followed tantric practices, in which sexual union is an important part. The influence of tantric cult in Khajuraho can be seen in Chaushad Jaguni temple, one of the most important temples. We also know that during the Rajput age, after the decline of Buddhism, different tantric cults emerged in different parts of Bharat. In Buddhism itself, the influence of Tantra can be seen during the later Pala period, when Vajrayana became popular among the people. According to a third theory, these erotic sculptures were made on the temple walls to inspire people to live family life. Because at that time, many people were influenced by Buddhism and Jainism, and they were leaving their household duties and home to become ascetic. To discourage these people, these erotic sculptures were carved on the temple walls. It is to show the importance of sex as a natural act. There are many myths and theories concerning these erotic sculptures and art of Khajuraho. But Khajuraho was not an isolated example of erotic art in ancient Bharat. Actually, the concept of erotic art emerged in ancient Bharat from the concept of Kama, and KAMASHASTRA was an important part of ancient Bharatiya literature. Although modern and postmodern Indians think that all things associated with sexuality and erotic art and literature necessarily originated in West or in European countries, which is a wrong concept. Ancient Bharat was far more advanced than Europe, and we never borrowed erotic literature or erotic art from European countries, because in our ancient literature there are many such examples which were forgotten during the Islamic period. Due to the influence of Victorian morality, these ancient Indian erotic sculptures may seem annoying to some of the modern politicians. Once Mahatma Gandhi wanted to destroy these erotic sculptures of Khajuraho, but he could not due to the opposition of many peoples like Rabindranath Tagore and others. The Khajuraho temples are clustered near water, one of the important features of ancient Hindu temples. According to local legends, Khajuraho once had 64 water bodies before the Islamic invasion. The archaeologists identified 56 of them. Of all the temples, 6 temples are dedicated to Hindu god Shiva, 8 temples to god Vishnu, 2 temples to Surya and Ganesha, and remaining 3 temples to Jain Tirthankars. It is difficult to assign the rest of the temples to any particular deity or a group of deities. The arts in Khajuraho covered numerous aspects of ancient Hindu life, their beliefs, values, and the status of women in the society. Khajuraho temples, like all Hindu temples, followed a specific geometrical design known in ancient India as Vastu Purusha Mandala. Here, Vastu means the dwelling structure, Purusha is the universal essence, and Mandala means a circle. The Khajuraho temples are divided into 3 groups: Western, Eastern, and Southern. Most of the temples were made of sandstone, each with a granite foundation. The original builders of Khajuraho never used mortar. The stones were held in place by gravity. According to a television show, Lost World, in which Alex Evans tried to recreate a stone sculpture in an attempt to get an idea of how much labor had been involved in building the original Khajuraho structure and temple complex. Similar experiments by Roger Hopkins and Mark Lehner also concluded that these massive temple structures required hundreds of highly skilled sculptors and workers. We don't know how many people, workers and sculptors were involved in building of Khajuraho and in the construction of its temples. Well, Khajuraho is one of the many wonders of the world and is famous for its erotic art and sculpture. Few people know that erotic themes cover less than 10% of actual temple architecture, and most of the erotic sculptures are in balance with non-sexual images and with other various aspects of ancient Hindu life. Most of the temples highlights god Shiva, the Hindu god responsible for destruction and dissolution, thereby controlling the cosmic order. Artwork in Khajuraho symbolically represent 4 essential goals of human life, considered most important in ancient Hinduism. They are Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Of these 4 goals of human life, the depiction of Kama is based on the belief that our universe is a result of cosmic union between male and female elements. The Chandela dynasty kings and people who built Khajuraho are no more. They are forgotten and their achievements are also forgotten by the people. But the city and the temples they built still attract visitors from all over the world.